A strong and independent woman is something to behold. She pays her own bills, buys her own things, and she doesn't let a man affect her stability or self-confidence. She is a soul-rich woman. Are you ready to be rich doing what you love? Be on purpose and in control of your life again. At For Women Who Love the F Word podcast, we will be openly talking about getting more clients online, getting recognition as the leader and female entrepreneur, and also the F word, being fabulous, having freedom, and financial independence. It's time to own and love the F word. Welcome to the show. Today we have a really special guest with us. She is a super amazing woman leader. She is full of energy, like Energizer Bunny, and she is like full of love and passion about leadership, about helping others to succeed. And she's here with me today. And the reason why I got her in was because she believed fully in the power of investing in yourself, in herself. And I thought that it's something that I would like you to also learn and maybe model after, because if you can model after success, you will be successful as well. So let's welcome Jeanette Aisyah Quek.
Thank you. Hi, Janisha. I'm happy to be here with you.
Yeah, Jeanette, why don't you share with us a little bit who you are, a little bit of what your journey was like, and what are you doing now?
I'm Janet Aisyah Quek, and I have been in corporate doing HR, focusing on talent management, learning development, and change management over the last 20 years. And I have teams under me over a few countries across Asia Pacific, and I've worked in different industries as well. And I'm the only child. Recently, my mom passed away end of last year. For the last few years, I have been very busy managing my mom, as well as my mom's illness, as well as corporate, as well as my family. I have 2 teenagers and one child who is at 11 years old.
So right now, you are an instant podcast leader. Share with us a little bit more about your podcast.
I have completed 55 episodes of my podcast on women leadership, and initially when I first started, I did not know what to expect, and I'm not sure whether if I can complete 55 episodes in such a short time, and I did it. I have completed in the recording in less than 48 hours.
Wow. Super cool, super amazing, right? Okay, so when I was looking at your profile and then, getting to know you, I realized that, you are a high flyer in the corporate world, and then you are transiting into entrepreneurship and, of course, other parts and phases of your life. And during this time, definitely there are lessons to be learned. What was the journey like, or lessons learned along the way?
Yes, it has been a great journey for me. And when I was in the corporate, my thinking and mindset was focusing on my job, to do my job well, and also to manage my teams well, and work very closely with the C-suite and the key stakeholders who are my internal clients. And so when I have people coming to me for advice and also to get my feedback and all, I'm very willing to share with them, whether it's within the company or outside the company. So, and as I transit into the entrepreneur and learn from my mentor, Janisha, and as part of the Soul Rich Woman community, I have also learned about free services versus paid. So I just want to share that in terms of, like, for example, when my friends or I have inquiries coming from the Facebook asking me what I'm doing, how did I achieve that, and that's where I realized that I'll be very busy responding and talking to them, and it could be hours and hours listening and talking to them. And so why not monetize it? And because of my experience over 20 years in leadership role, and with my knowledge and skills, I'm able to help friends out there, especially women out there, who are able to benefit and also gain from my skills and knowledge, and yet at the same time, I am being paid.
And this time when you're going through this part of this journey of, free versus paid, I mean, this is a very good awareness that you're going through. And another piece that I felt was very interesting was, you talk about investing in yourself a lot, which earlier on I talk about. And, investing in yourself is so important. But people always think very expensive, Jeanette, so expensive. The course, the program, hiring a mentor, getting a coach. Hey, I heard you have a coach for 7 years.
Yes, that's right. And yes, when in my first 10 years in working as a corporate, as a junior staff, I did not know how to invest in myself. I did not invest in mentor, on coach. I just do everything on my own. But I was still earning only less than $2,000 and hardly get more than 1 month variable bonus. As I embarked on my personal development journey, the first step that I took was to sign up a program which is 6 times more than what I was earning, and I have paid them through 2 months on a 2 years on a 24 months credit installment. And it has helped me tremendously in my mindset, in my thinking, in my exposure, and in my experience. And many years later, after that program, I've also signed up a coach with me, also through the same network that I signed up the Quantum Leap program. And so the coach has been with me for 7 years. So even though I had the break in between and I was not working, even now, I still continue the coaching program because of the value I saw over the years that it helped me to be promoted, accelerated my income 10 times more in less than 10 years. And so I believe strongly in personal development and investment. And how did I do that was that to spend less on other things. For example, like holiday trips, branded bags, clothings. And I really use the money to invest in what I think is important to help me build my career in the corporate. So I was in a way different from my peers in the corporate because their focus is in corporate. But at that time, I was already networking outside corporate in the industry by attending conferences and different networking events that I get to speak to business leaders, entrepreneurs, and networking marketeers. So that's where I learn and understand and observe how they do their business.
And what are the 3 things that was truly unique or that you take? Because you talk about, signing up for a program that is 6 times of salary and then that accelerated. And then you talk about how, you didn't buy your LV bags and things like that. And you kind of delayed your gratification because you saw that the future was more of a worthy investment than the current pleasures in life. So what were the 3 actions or like what exactly are the steps that you took that really transformed or accelerated in your corporate life?
The first step I took was to read a book. So I started reading books on financial planning, financial management, and listening to audio books and learning from millionaires. What are the kind of habits that they have to become who they are today? So one of the things is to delay gratification. And so that's where, yes, I'm a woman. I love to dress up. I love massages. I love spa. I love manicure, pedicure. I love a lot of things that women like. But because I have a goal in mind, which is I want, because I have 3 children, right? They are 15, 13, and 11 years old. And I want to plan that if, let's say, I'm not working one day, I will still be able to provide them for their tuition, for their enrichment classes, and they'll be able to provide things that they needed in the school. So that's where that motivates and drives me to delay my gratification. So second thing is, yes, even though some of the courses and programs are expensive, but I research and I see the value that I'll be able to get out of it. Any investment is a risk. There is a risk in it. So I cannot guarantee that after investing 6 times more than what I've earned, when I first started this development journey, that I'll be able to accelerate my income 10 times more in less than 10 years. But I took action. I think it was the first step that I get out of my comfort zone to start learning, to start exploring, and to start experimenting and getting to know people out there who are sincere, coaches and mentors who are sincere and want you to be successful. And thirdly was that I think when we all have money, even when my friends or some people who told me, yes, when you have money on your hand, for example, if you strike a lottery, $1 million today, I hope I do, but I don't buy Toto, by the way. So if we have 1 million, how are we able to manage? And I have friends who told me that when they have a lot of money, they start to upgrade their house, they start to upgrade their car, and they upgrade their bags and things like that, which are expenses. So to me, actually, I did my first investment in a property because my mom used to be a property investor, and so I learned from her and I invested in my first property because I know that if the money is going to be in my bank, it will be spent somewhere else.
Wow. So your mom taught you so much. Is your mom still around?
My mom has passed away end of last year, and I realized that I had so much I had learned from her so much in when she was with me, because she was a property investor and she is someone who is a saver. She don't really spend a lot, but she understands the value of having financial independence because I came from a single parent family. I don't have, my father has left me since I was 6 years old. So she was very independent, and she has been looking for ways to look for sources of income to support me. And that's where over the years, I learned how she upgraded from a one-room flat to own a private property. And after that, downgrade again so that she will be able to have a source of income to support her expenses. So when she had Parkinson 5 years ago and she was bedridden, the medical costs and expenses was very high. Honestly, if she had not had that stream of income, it would be a very heavy burden on me and my family because I have 3 children to support, and I'm being the only child. I don't have siblings to go to. So I'm really glad, and she really showed a great model, being a great model and example to me that I want to achieve for myself and also for my next generation, and to show them. It's not to give them the fish, but to show them so that they can fish themselves and know how to build the financial independence.
I love the topic of financial independence, how Soul Rich Woman is all about the F word, right? Because financial independence brings about freedom, brings about being fabulous, brings about being having the time, the freedom of choice of the things that we want to do. And I find that, you learn so much from your mom, and, you yourself is a living example of financial independence. What are the 3 habits? Okay, other than holidays and the, buying the bags, but what are the 3 financial habits that you have got during the time that you were in the corporate world? Because, I believe many people do receive salary and still is a 9 to 5 employee. Share with us and our audience today, our listeners today, 3 ways.
Yes, one way is that I actually cut down on dining outside. So in the past, I love buffets. So I love to go hotels, restaurants, but over the years, I've kept it only to special occasions like wedding anniversary and also birthday celebrations where we get together and to celebrate. So I cut down, and that helped me to save a lot in terms of the expenses. And second way is that I focus on investing and development. So not only on myself, but my family as well, on my children. So I send them to a lot of enrichment classes. And my eldest son, when he was in primary 6 PSLE, I actually invested a few $1,000s in him to be able to have at least 60 hours of program for his Chinese. And he was able to score A, where his tutor told me that his standard is around C or B and he will not be able to score got A. So I invested that in 3 months just before the PSLE, and it was and that center guaranteed an A. Otherwise, there's a refund of certain percentage. So I'm trying to say that is that I always see in investing rather than spending. So the children will complain to me that they are always going for tuition, they're always for going this and that, but they saw the value that they have achieved. And my eldest son is in a special in SEP school now, where he was in a good environment where all his friends are studious and would like to learn and in a good company. So that is something that one of my friends recently told me, that you are right, Janet, because I think the environment is important, because my child didn't do well, and that's why he was in an environment where he learned all the bad habits. So I think this is important as a mom and as a parent as well, to inculcate the value of investing in ourselves. So I don't spend a lot on them on other things, unless there is a birthday or special occasions where they requested, they got good results, I'll reward them. But I want them to see the value of learning and the importance of improving in their skills. So on my transition on being an entrepreneur, I also encourage them to learn with me, to see what I'm doing. For example, the podcast, they were my first number one fan where they listened to my podcast. And my secondary friends told me that they have learned a lot more about me, even though they know me for more than 25 years. So I was very happy, because sometimes we focus too much on ourselves. We don't really get to understand more about another person. And I got to know more about Janisha, Joanne, and Charlotte through the podcast as well, where we may not have time to talk more, or we have limited time to understand more about each other, but I learned about them much more through the podcast.
Wow, just now you talk about sharing with your kids how, they only get special treats during, like special occasions, right? Okay, so that comes to a point about parenting. I mean, you are so busy and you have so many things that you are doing. So you're financially independent. You are, capable in your work. You are headhunted into positions, and you are always focusing on, going up, so that you as a woman can be an example and role model to your children. What is your big dream? What is your big dream eventually for yourself, for your family?
My big dream is that one day I will be able to travel around the world with my husband or even my family without having to worry about whether we have enough money to pay food on the table the following day or the following month. That is why I was building my financial blueprint over the last 15 years before I quit my job. It was not easy for me to quit at a six-figure, high-paying job as a senior position as a director. But I understand that my mom, because as the only child, she needed me by her side, and she has no one to be with her. So I've decided to give up my job, and hoping that one day I will probably get back the same high income job. But I'm not worried. Even in these time situations where a lot of companies suspend and stop hiring, because I already built that financial portfolio in the last 15 years when I was on this personal development journey.
So what is the one advice you would give to a woman listening right now, to our audience? She is looking to really transform her financial blueprint.
My advice is to get yourself a coach and a mentor. And it will transform your life just as how it has transformed my life as well.
So how can the audience reach you?
You can reach me via Facebook or LinkedIn, and I'm happy to have a chat with you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Jeanette, for being on the show today. And thank you for joining us today. And we hope that we have done everything in our power to make it well worth your time. My name is Janisha Alora, signing off. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so honored that we are connected, and I hope that I can continue to serve you as you build your dreams. And if you love this episode, and I hope that you did, rate it 5 stars. Give us that glowing review, because it will help more women around the world finding the Soul Rich Woman podcast. Alone you are strong, together we are unstoppable. Now share this with every woman who needs it, because this is how we are changing the world, one woman at a time. As always, get out of your comfort zone and go towards the dreams you've always wanted to achieve. For women who love the F word, being fabulous, having freedom, and financial independence. My dear soul-rich woman, sending you my love, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.